So in the NA side, you bring it because you know everybody's bringing Shadow. In EU, it would have been a terrible choice because you don't have anything to counter against. But it can really do well against any deck. It just depends on what curve it gets. And if it gets the right reactionary spells, depending on how many reactionary spells they're playing with the Calamitous Curses, the Professor of Taboos, Mutagenic Bolts, all that business. So it can perform well against any deck, but it's at its best against mid-Shadow.
All right, we'll take a look at this match. And I think Hacterox showed up a sign right there. If anybody took a screenshot, I didn't get to read what it said, but Hacterox put it up again. I need to see.
A couple of players doing that, showing the signs, and we don't really get a chance to read any of them. But
Care doing his pre-game prayer.
Yeah, it's just... Please don't kill me turn one. Please don't kill me turn one.
All right, so we've got, it looks like, Neutral Sword versus Neutral Haven. So very evenly matched up decks. Realistically, they're both aggro decks trying to outperform the other person on board and try to kill their opponent the quickest. Looking at the mulligans, Care Package could have a little bit better of a curve. He's got a removal spell and an early unit, but that Luminous Mage a little bit too high cost. And Hacterox might decide to keep this. He's got the Eagle Man. He's got
he has already mulliganed, so he mulliganed into the Merman.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, perfect.
I didn't quite catch who was on the player draw because it came in. Okay, so yeah, Merman is on the play.
Okay.
This is actually kind of okay when you get a 1-drop and you end up being on the play. It's kind of okay. Like on the draw, those are very bad, but.
So here's something fun to talk about. We saw Alice always being drawn for the neutral decks on the play.
I mean, look at his hand now. It's getting even better. He doesn't have a 2-drop.
He didn't have a 2-drop.
But his 3 and 4 are incredible. And you're right. Like these neutral decks, I would play neutral if I got Alice every single game. Like you know.
Exactly. A Care Package unfortunately doesn't have Alice yet, but he has 2 other turns to draw her. It might not be as effective because he's on the draw, but just an interesting side note. So Hacterox here has, just an interesting line of play here. He can just go in with the Wise Merman, protect it so it doesn't die, and then just Alice up and keep pushing, and then Eagle Man to protect.
Right, and of course it was the correct play to play the Grimner there because it protected the Merman, like you said, preserving stats. But Care Package, thankfully for him, he even draws a Goblin here to curve out with this Shield of Flame. He's able to answer all the board and even play a Goblin down for himself. So this is looking really great for Care Package, as he can evolve first too.
Absolutely. So. The missed 2-drop really hurts when you're playing the aggro deck versus the aggro deck. So Hacterox's hand still could be very good. I mean, the Eagle Man is going to change up the pace of the game as soon as it comes down. It realistically just matters if Care can deal with it and then push through.
For sure. We've seen Eagle Man all through yesterday, I think, make a humongous difference.
Humongous difference.
Like when you eventually play it for 2 or 1 or even 0 play points, it's just, it's, you know.
And since it's a new day, for those of you who don't know what Eagle Man is and kind of the reason why people are playing Neutral Haven alongside of Lion, is it's kind of like a spell boost card. It's a 6 play point 4/5 with ward, and every time you play a neutral follower, it gets reduced in cost by 1.
Right.
So you like holding it in your opening hand, or Lion, which has the same type of effect. But it's a 5/5 that pops an amulet from your hand.
Right.
So that you can kind of out-tempo your opponent early in the game.
And while you're explaining that, Care Package just went completely ham. He put two Lyrias on the board. He's got a Feria over here evolved as well. His board is pumped.
Yes. So Feria, one of the strongest cards in the expansion, kind of like Mini Alice. Pumps everything in play, but it costs an Evolution Orb to do it. But looking at this board, well worth it.
You get +2/+2/+2 on her still. You get +1/+1 on three dudes. Sounds incredible to me. I think it's worth an evolve.
Perfect. So what do you think Hacterox is thinking here? How is he going to deal with this board?
He's thinking, oh no, I'm going to die. That's what's in his mind right now. He basically probably has to just dump his hand and evolve for the board here. I'm actually not quite sure if he can play the Eagle Man yet. I don't think so if he plays the Carrot. So he's actually got 1 more turn before he can do any of that. So
the unfortunate thing about this board for Hacterox is that even with the Eagle Man, even with the Evolve, Care Package has yet another Actress Feria to pump this entire board.
Exactly. And then following that, even an Alwida's command.
Right.
So this is just really bad. He's even got a Lyrial in his hand. He could choose to use that. Lyrial, again, another card we saw, just dominating the game. He even draws an Albert. Wow.
Okay, so lots of choices he can make here, actually. He could go Albert to try to push face a little bit. He could go Feria to pump. Yep. Going the Feria route, definitely not bad.
Care Package is making Sword look incredible.
Yes.
You're wondering, like, why was no one playing Sword yesterday? This looks insane.
To be fair, I think Sword's always been pretty good. People are just afraid to play it because they just don't think it has what it takes against a lot of the control decks that we're seeing.
Right.
But if we look at the metagame today, There's a decent amount of control, but not as much as yesterday. Yesterday, everyone was playing control except for Neutral Haven. So
Care Package is forced to make a few trades I'm sure he's not too happy about, but I mean, he's got Hacterox at 8, he's got an Alwedas and Albert to follow up with. This is just, it's looking great.
Hacterox has one last-ditch effort with the second Eagle Man, but is it going to be enough?
Hopefully. I mean, we've seen Eagle Man do a lot, so.
There is one Evolution Orb left for Care Package as well, so even if this game goes late and that Albert doesn't come down anytime soon, it could always go upstairs for the 10 that he needs. So that's always this looming, you know, death thing that Hacterox has over his head.
Not to mention, he has an incredible turn this turn. We saw Eagle Man right there, 0 play points for a 4/5 ward. Goblin Princess, you mentioned this yesterday, but since it is a new day again, like you said, Goblin Princess, when she comes into play, actually reduces Eagle Man and Lion by 3.
Yep.
Because those goblins that pop out of her are counted as being played.
Yep. And they're also neutral, so goes right along the plan. So does pick up another ward by killing the Goblin Princess. Very good choice. So now he's just got running wards to try to stave off the damage that Care Package is doing.
And that's about all he can do at this point. That's literally, you know, what he needs to be doing. And this Alwedas is kind of okay, but when you evolve the Viking side, I think, the attacking side, it'll trade with the Eagle Man, and then you push 3. It's not really too great.
I almost think that this could be, like, the way you push the most damage this turn is you play the Alice, and you evolve Alice into the Eagle Man and push for 4.
Right.
It's not going to put Hacterox in lethal range to either the Alwedas or the Albert, but again, Hacterox is on the back foot here. He's got to come back from an, you know, a 10-point life deficit right now, and being on the defensive kind of hurts.
Oh yeah, definitely. He does have Eagle Men to be on the defensive with, and he does also have that Goblin King to fall back on.
Yes.
Which is something that Care Package is considering at the moment. He's wondering, you know, if I use Alice and this evolve to push, can I even continue? Because the Goblins will trade. He'll probably play a carrot.
He knows the Goblin King's coming out.
Exactly. It'll 100% come out. He does go with Alice, though, so it's going to pump the Goblin to a 4/5 1-drop. That sounds so scary. 4/5 1-drop.
This is the first format you'll ever see a Goblin get that big. Imagine
that Goblin
if that was
is
Evo.
huge, yeah.
Right. Absolutely incredibly big.
Lyrial, not quite amazing.
Yeah, once you're out of Evolution Orbs, we talked a lot about Lyrial yesterday, but once you're out of Evolution Orbs, Lyrial just becomes a regular 2-drop.
Vanilla 2/2.
With Evo is one of the best cards in the game.
Yeah. Goblin King, probably Carrot, doesn't really matter actually, you know, what comes out of his hand. Everything except for Carrot's vanilla here, so.
Hacterox is like, this Goblin King's got to protect me or else I'm out of it.
Grimner's kind of okay.
Yep.
Goes with Alwedas. We'll see if he throws the board in or not. Probably not, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I like this. Make Hacterox make the decisions. He doesn't, like, Care Package knows that Hacterox doesn't know what's in his hands, so he's got to play around the unknown, essentially.
Right. Carrot getting a value trade against the 3-attack Viking there. And a Grimner drawn for Hacterox is going to put up another effective 3 health on the board for him, so.
I like this. I think it's quite interesting that Hacterox did not trade the Goblin King into the 4/5.
Right. Where's that Cyclone Blade, man?
Right, exactly.
Cyclone Blade would be crazy here.
So, again, this game is going to go a few more turns, but as soon as these wards are dealt with...
Ooh, I love this. Obviously, this is pretty obvious to most of us, saving the Albert, because next turn, it's enhanceable. An enhanced Albert is way better than non-enhanced Albert. So
for those of you who don't know, Albert's one of Swordcraft's staple cards. It's a 5-play point 3/5 with Storm, which is already busted.
Already pretty good.
And then on 9 play points, you get to attack with it twice, and if you choose to trade with it, it doesn't take any damage on the crackback.
And that's actually going to put lethal on the board for Care Package. He just throws his 2/2 in. Really doesn't actually matter how he does this because Albert can attack twice.
Yep.
Care Package with the cheer there. He knows game 1 is his.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows.
Perfect line of play from Care this game, I would say. And Hacterox, realistically, just because of missing that 2-drop, put him on the back foot the entire game.
Yeah, he was there the whole game.
He didn't make any misplays. He just didn't
have
what he needed.
Leaves 5 damage on the board for Care Package, and he goes in for 1 over.
There he goes, putting up the cheer. He's happy about that one. Perfect.
Yeah, Hacterox has to feel bad for Hacterox. Gets curved. The second Albert's available, it comes down, of course, every time, right?
Right. Every single time you're playing against Sword, you have to be cognizant of Albert because it's just an ever-present thing that could happen to you.
Well, realistically, wow, both of our players being very friendly sent each other friend requests. It's unfortunate that he didn't have a ward available to play Albert. Like if he just I know he has Albert, but I can't do anything.
So
right?
maybe it might have been a correct choice to save the Grimnir for when he knew Albert could be coming out.
Possibly, yes, yeah.
Maybe just 1 extra turn.
it is possible. But it attacks twice,
Right.
you know, and the 2-drop was left
Regardless,
anyway. So
he's going to be in a bad spot.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was not looking too good. A Shadow Mirror.
Perfect. And I believe Hacterox is playing Nep Shadow, and Care Package is bringing regular Mid Shadow. So some interesting tech choices for each of our players here. So Care Package running what you would expect from Mid Shadow, except he's also running 3 packs.
Can you
of
tell?
the Nether Gods, yeah. So 3
Pact of the Nether Gods. I was like, I have no idea what Pact even is.
Yeah,
Can you?
3 play point, destroy any enemy follower with 4 defense or
Right.
less, or it enhances for 7 to do the same thing, but you get a Pluto, which is
summon
a
a Pluto,
1/1 that gets +X+X, which is equal to the
stats of the
destroyed follower.
I was like, what is a PAX?
Yeah,
So it's
what's
going to
PAX?
PAX East. His
Right.
deck is going to PAX East.
No, so there's that, and then Hacterox is running Nep Shadow with a 2-3-4-7-8 split.
Which is an odd split.
Very odd.
Very odd. Yeah. Usually Nephthys decks have a 4 in their curve. Not literally a 4, but they have 4 numbers in their curve.
Right,
What
so
I mean.
usually you'll see like 2-3-7-8.
Right. Yes.
And we see Hacterox with the 4 in there for some thrown-in Hell's Unleashers.
Right.
Which people like for some value. I'm not a huge fan of messing up the Nep curve, but, you know, with some testing, Hacterox probably knows what he's doing, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe it'll work out for him. I love just seeing Shadow, period.
Right.
You know, we didn't see it at all yesterday.
It's like...
Shadowcraft Mirror. Yeah, it is weird. Like, this feels like the Shadowverse I know. Like, Shadow's in the name of the game. Why are you not playing the faction, right?
Right. It's just weird to say that. Like, I'm so glad to see Shadow
Yeah,
today.
it is weird. It does feel weird. Yeah. After
Alright.
seeing so many Eekter games. Like, Shadow again.
Alright, so let's see what we've got here. So Care Package playing a little bit of a value game early here. Hacterox definitely just trying to push till turn 7 or later to get his game going. So Care really needs to start busting a move here to try to beat out that 7-8 curve for Hacterox over there.
Right, he's only done 1 damage phase, so this is not working out too much for him. Hacterox can just kind of play whatever he wants this turn because Lyriel can trade into that 2/2 Kai'Sa, and, you know, that just kind of stabilizes everything.
Yeah, this might be a great turn for even a Soul or an Attentive Knight into Soul Conversion just to get some value, draw some cards.
Oh, he does have a Soul Conversion tucked away over there. That's nice. Yeah, that does summon a Lich here, which is a 4/4 vanilla.
Generally, you don't want to keep the Attentive Knight out against an aggressive deck because it can't attack. It can only attack enemy followers with Ward, or it can go face. So getting the 4/4 on board is really nice. Might make Care Package use an Evolution Orb here.
Probably, likely. I mean, he could go for the value play of, like, Carrot Demon Eater or something, but then he can't get rid of this Lich.
Right.
Usually in Nephthys deck, you don't actually care if they attack you back because they're going to hit you, and it's kind of like a, you know, a Seraph deck. They're not going to do too much damage that matters.
Exactly. Like when you see a Lion on the Seraph side of the board, you're just like,
whatever.
Right,
It's a 4/4, whatever,
I
you
don't
know.
care. Looking at his hand, though, I mean, he's really just got a late game hand as well. He's got the Cerberus into the Death's Breath. So not a lot of action. So
Care Package expending an Evolve here to get rid of this Lich. He disagrees with us completely.
Yep.
Probably going to replay this Carrot. But that's another turn that Care Package is really feeling the on the draw. Like, I'm playing the deck that needs to be aggressive, and he's on the draw and just not able to keep anything on the board because Hacterox just has an answer for this in any which way he wants.
Now, we did see in a previous weekend that Mid Shadow did pull themselves out of a net matchup really late into the game after multiple Death's Breaths.
It can happen. It can happen.
Death's Breath is that nice kind of like lining that, you know, if you set up the correct board at the right time with wards, you can just push enough with maybe an Ektar or something to just finish the game off.
Hacterox actually not evolving to kill the Carrot there. I love that. You know, he knows he has 3 Underworld Cowies in his deck. He doesn't need to worry about Carrots on the board.
So one of the big great things about Nephthys and how it works is Kawi is generally a card you want to pull every single time or play on 7 to lead into your Nephthys. Kawi is a 7 play point 4/5 that when it dies, it kills the opponent's highest power follower, and you gain that much life.
And it has Ward.
And it has Ward.
So you gotta kill it.
Gotta kill it.
You can't ignore
right.
it.
Absolutely.
And he drew Nephthys there as well, so he can actually, next turn, he can go Kawi into Nephthys, which is going to be pretty explosive for him. That's kind of what Hacterox just wants to do to win the game.
Now, here's the question. Because he's playing Hell's Unleashers in his deck, is he actually going to pull the Mordecai to start his endgame?
That's true. That is true. Mordecai being an 8 play point follower, we all know he's actually the leader of Care Package right now.
Right.
A 5/5 that when he dies just resummons himself. So very important for Nephthys to actually pull that card. It's very, very, very important for the deck.
So this is like a feels bad Death's Breath, I think.
He actually
Okay.
doesn't even go for goes for a Lurching Corpse. And he's killing it now, which could actually just hit this Carrot and do nothing. It didn't. Okay, that's good.
The interesting thing about Care Package's deck, and the Pact of the Nether Gods are there, I would imagine, for, you know, against other neutral decks to kill Alice's and kill big followers early, but against a deck like this,
it does nothing.
You don't really want it at all. So
the best it's going to do is kill a Cowie without healing.
Right.
But realistically, this turn, I mean, you have to know, you're getting close to Cowies, you're getting close to Nephthisi.
Yeah.
There's really not much that that happened on this board. We still have players at 18, 19 life totals, and Care Package is just not putting enough pressure down to come down past Mordekai's.
So it could be that he's trying to hold on to all of his Mimis and Cocos that Cerberus is generating, and like maybe for like a big push later in the game.
It has to be. That has to be his plan here, because if Mordecai hits the board, he has to be reminded it's a card. It's literally his leader.
There's a clock.
It's like it is a clock. It's just a 5/5 that won't ever die. You don't have access to banishment unless you're playing Odin, which we know he's not.
So actually, Care has a sweet play he could make. He could attack into the Kawi, and then he could play a Coco. Or a Mimi, whichever one.
Mimi is 2 damage.
Mimi's
Coco
2
is the buff.
So Mimi deal 2 damage, and then Pact of the Nether God to not proc the Kawi on the summon Pluto.
Can't Pact just Pact can just do 4 or lower actually.
It can do 4 or lower, but then it will summon if you pay 7 for it.
Oh, if you enhance it, right?
Yeah, enhance it, right? So he's got to play a spell first, or he could Soul Conversion, but then he wouldn't be able to actually attack into. Okay.
Really interesting though. Would it even kill the Pluto summoned by that?
I believe so.
Because Cowie dies first.
I believe so.
How can it kill a Pluto that doesn't exist yet?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it does. I think it does.
It probably does. You're probably right.
So he elects to go with none of that anyway, so.
He's obviously digging for something. We saw that that Demon Eater turn earlier that didn't really push anything. We see a Soul Conversion turn this turn that doesn't actually push for anything either. He's looking for something. I don't know what it is that he's looking for. But
so he is, it maybe even seems like he is going for the Pact here, but if the Pact was the play, why wasn't the 2 damage pointed to the face? That's another 2 damage lost.
Not sure.
Interesting.
Nephthis 100% coming down this turn just because she establishes a 5/5, and is going to probably pull Mordecai as well.
And
she did. Okay, yeah.
And a 4/4.
And there was also 1 Cowie in there, so there's now only 1 Cowie. Wow, evolves Mordecai.
Pre-Evo, he's like, Soul Squash me, please.
He's really, asking for a Soul Squasher here.
I kind of like that because it kind of prevents Soul Squasher from being played if he doesn't want to use the shadows on it. That's kind of an interesting play.
He does have 14, though.
He does have 14 shadows. But realistically, if you think of what Hacterox is like, okay, the only real way I can lose is if, you know, there are big Ektars that come down, you know, turn after turn after turn.
Right.
After a certain point. So if I can make him abuse his shadows, maybe I can win that way.
Maybe. I don't know. I think realistically, he does have 16 damage on board now. If for some reason nothing dies, he evolves again for lethal.
So also a lethal setup, absolutely.
It is a lethal setup. And he did it so fast, too. So he must have... Hacterox knows that's a lethal setup, you know? So... Gets a Pluto. Pretty good. 7 play points for 5/5 Pluto.
Not bad. Clear out the 2 big followers here. Obviously not going to trade into that Mordecai.
Not going to hit Mordecai,
That will not do anything. Except, well, I guess it will de-evolve it.
Yeah, removes 2 power off the board when you could have removed 5.
Right. Not a big deal. But we do see Care Package does have a Death Breath, so maybe he's going to try to turn this game into the game that we were talking about before, where he just kind of takes advantage with a couple late games. But as we can see,
I'm not sure if he's going to get there.
Hacterox has 2 Foul Tempests anyway.
He does. So he does have 2 Foul Tempests. And I mean, even still, he's got Foul Tempests in his hand, but he's also got a 7/7 Mordecai and an army of zombies. Even one being a carrot. He's mixed in there. One of them's not like the others. He's just in there disguised.
He might as well be a zombie. He never dies.
He's a better zombie than zombies are, really. Yeah.
These zombies are like friendly. These are like your friendly neighborhood, you know, watchman guys. It's like, hey, what's up? But Carrot's over here like, I'm gonna, you know, eat your cats. Like,
oh my god.
Like, he's scary to me. Okay, Carrot is super scary to me.
Coco expended on Skull Beast. I'm not sure if it's intended to trade or if it's intended to go... It's evolving. It's obviously going phased. Hopefully going phased.
Yep. Got to push damage where he can.
But we know none of this matters.
Nope.
Because Foul Tempest.
Because Foul Tempest.
Because so Foul Tempest.
Hacterox is going to square this match up.
Beautiful. Velissimo. Just...
Bellissimo.
Just destroys the board. Even trades away, whatever. Gets a carrot attack in there, too.
Doing the old Winmore plays. I like it.
Solid.
Perfect. So now we get to see, I mean, these, like we said, these 2 players very evenly matched.
Right.
And now we get to go into the game 3 and see what
exciting.
Hacterox has
Team
left.
kill happens, game 3. We don't know who's going to do it yet.
That's right. So Hacterox could either have Burn Rune, or no, I'm sorry. Nep Shadow is the deck that he just played.
Yes.
And then, let's see, actually, I don't remember now.
He won with Nep Shadow just now.
He won with Nep Shadow just now. And
so he can't play Nep Shadow again.
Well, that's true.
Per the rules of the tournament.
Neutral Haven or Burn Rune.
Yeah.
Right.
Not knowing the ban that he had.
You know.
Looks like it's going to be Neutral Haven, though.
Perfect.
So Kara's package is the one still on
I was going to say, I think the reason why I got messed up is because I think he played Neutral Haven first, and then he switched to Shadow.
Yes.
So that's where I got confused. Sorry, guys.
And then also being a mirror match, like, you know.
Right. So now these Pact of the Nether Gods might actually come into play
right.
now.
Yes. Exactly. They're much more useful when they're able to actually kill things that matter. Yeah.
Right. Earlier in the game, so that you can actually progress dealing damage as opposed to just playing purely defensive.
However, I mean, even still, Neutral is able to be, you know, Mid Shadow and Neutral Haven are kind of, they're almost evenly matched, I would say, until Neutral Haven runs out of steam, if it does.
Absolutely.
At which I would say Shadow pulls way ahead and just has way more card draw and eventually can just not lose that.
Absolutely.
But it will 100% depend on what Hacterox ends up getting in his draw, which is kind of like the story of Neutral Haven that we've been seeing.
Of course. And like you said, like if Neutral Haven gets out to that, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 start, it can be super crazy. But Mid Shadow has a ton of card draw with Soul Conversions and Demon Eater, like you said. As soon as Neutral Haven runs out of gas, Shadow will just keep going. It'll
just 100% win. And we actually see Demon Eater in Care Package's deck, a recently nerfed card.
Recently nerfed.
And still being played.
Yep, still being played. Very good still. And he did draw a nice little curve here. I was going to say maybe the Pact of the Nether God would have been an okay choice here, but now that he has the 1-drop, this is a perfect play. This
is actually interesting, though. Expending a Soul Squasher, and trading even, expending a Soul Squasher before Evolve, when your opponent has access to 1 more Evolve than you do, is interesting. You are playing 3 Soul Squashers, though, when you're full of card draw, so...
The only reason I think that is because of the hand that he has. Like, he can't use his shadows very effectively, and he does have a Death's Breath and an Hector left in his hand. So if he wants to save the Soul Squasher for the shadows, it's really going to limit what he can do later in the game.
Right. And so here we go. This card draw is already pulling ahead. Like, he was down a few cards, you know, because he went first. He was dumping his hand, and he's just even again.
Yep. Now, the trade that he made on turn 3, I'm not too positive that you want to be trading. It did prevent the value trade into the Skull Beast, but it does, again, it prevents him from dealing damage to face. So it might just be that Care Package's approach to Mid Shadow, especially with the Pact of the Nether Gods, is to play that extreme value game and go late most of the time and not really be aggressive with it.
It's possible. I think also he's just scared of Alice.
Yeah.
Because like we've said, every single neutral deck, for once, unless he draws it next turn, has had Alice on 4 every time.
True. Care Package, when he played neutral, did not have it either.
Oh, did he not?
He did not have it on 4.
Maybe he's unlucky. I mean, Hacterox is guaranteed to
He
draw
had it on 6.
Hacterox is guaranteed to draw Alice next turn.
Right.
So it'll happen. We all know it will.
All right, so Care Package taking, again, really good care to decide what he's going to do this turn. It could be a Pact of the Nether God to clear the way. I mean, he could play a Demon Eater into a Soul Conversion if he wants to clear the board, his own board, and draw a bunch of cards.
Clear his own board, yeah.
But it would build up the appropriate number of shadows for Death's Breath, but he can do that next turn, so I kind of like Pact here.
Ooh. I think he's going to go face and Pact, actually. Yeah, okay, all right. Alice being drawn.
No, not this time.
Never lucky. However, I mean, Grimner Wise Merman is kind of an okay board. I mean, it's almost the best board you can make this turn, so.
It's not bad. And no Evos here would also be a pretty heads-up play, because then Soul Squasher couldn't really get extreme value if there was one left in hand, but...
Evolving Merman. Get rid of this Soul Squasher. The thing about getting rid of this Soul Squasher is that it disables, actually, Soul Conversion and Demon Eater.
That's true.
Which are half of Care Package's hand right now, so.
Ooh. Wow. This will be a turn, so he could Demon Eater Soul Conversion to draw some cards and give him some play points to work with. He could Necro Assassin, but I don't like that play at all.
Hacterox turning that Evolve into an incredible play.
Yeah.
That Evolve was insane now.
He's like, you know what? I know you don't have any plays next turn.
I got this, dude. You know, I know you play Hectors. I know you've got, or Eaters, sorry. I know you've got Death's Breath. Your hand is probably clogged, right?
Okay, so it looks like he's going to opt to do this. He might even evolve this, first, and then Soul Convert it.
Oh gosh, value loss. Talk about value loss. But he needs those shadows. He does have 6 shadows available.
Right.
So he doesn't have to, but he does go for it. Gets another Demon Eater and a Thane even. So his hand is just cloggy. It's so cloggy.
Yes. However, I believe the way these next few turns will come about, I think it will be very good for him. The Death's Breath into a Thane or an Hactar is going to really help deal with whatever big boards Hacterox puts up.
Right, which is probably just a tea time this turn.
Yep, tea time. He could decide to go, you know, Lion if he wants to. to pop the Beast Call. He has Goblin Princess. He's got a lot of different options to just flood the board here.
Goblin Princess is also pretty good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, after you mentioned it, yeah. Goblin Princess is pretty great. She also sets up a board that's good against Thane, quote-unquote good against Thane, but that's not coming out till the turn after this one, so...
Right. Just because it will give you the 1/2s necessary to clear out those pesky 2/1s.
The little whites.
The little whites that come out. So whites are kind of cool from Thane. They're 2/1s that are in play that whenever an enemy follower dies, they take one. Or whenever, yeah.
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Tin Soldier coming down, going face, obviously, attacking Demon Eater itself. Pushing 6 this turn is pretty good. I mean, you know, Neutral Haven, both of these decks want to push damage. So anytime they actually can, they probably want to take the option too.
Mm-hmm. And I imagine this is what Care Package was saving up for. I don't see any other play but the Death Breath.
Right. I mean, most other plays aren't even possible, so it has to go for it. Eekter or Thane could be okay for him next turn, but this would actually be perfectly answerable by another Tin Soldier.
That's true.
If he would have top deck one.
Ooh.
Eagleman's an interesting card here.
So now with the actual amulet in play, it kind of clogs the board up for Hacterox, not making all of his plays accessible, but this is a very good one.
Right. This is incredible. If he could also play, he can play Carrot next to this. Eagleman's getting lower and lower every time.
Mm-hmm.
Still has Arya in his hand as well. Probably going to keep it, though.
And he has a full board reload with Goblin Princess into an Eagleman whenever he wants it.
Right, exactly. Which is devastatingly good for Hacterox.
So this is the Haymaker turns. We've got Hacterox with all of the stuff that he needs, and Care Package with the same. So we'll see which one ends out on top.
An Evolve on Lion instead of the Carrot to attack this 2/3 is going to be very interesting if Care Package top decks a Soul Squasher. He can clear the board almost.
I like the play, though. It's really heads up against Hector specifically because it puts 5 defense on the biggest follower you have.
Right. True.
So it might dissuade that play, especially without any evolution orbs left for Care Package. He's going to have to be really diligent on what he decides to do this turn.
True. New Eekter, however, can't do anything without 8 shadows.
Right.
So, well, he could if there was a board prior, but he can't summon any zombies. Used to, he would summon 2 zombies and probably do pretty okay. You know, he'd kill that tiger, you know, make a zombie or whatever, and, you know, leave him on board. But
he might have to go for a luck play here. He might have to go with, like, a Kai'Sa into a Necro Assassin.
He's going to go for it, I think, actually, yeah.
And just hope to hit the 7/5.
Just because so much power was put on board, he's forced to do this, and he didn't get it.
Ooh.
That's leaving 11 on board. He's 3 away from dying. Garuda kills him. Oh. Wrong bird.
Wrong
That's
bird.
the wrong bird.
this board backed up by an Eagleman, again, just like impossible for Hector to really do that much about.
It is. Oh, no, a Lurching Corpse right when you just expended
oh, no.
a Necro Assassin.
That's got to feel
He
bad.
can't do anything.
Care Package is holding his mouth. He knows.
He actually can't do anything.
Yeah, I think this is it, right? So he plays the Hector. He gets 2 4/2s with Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can clear out the Eagleman with 2 of them. He can clear out the 4/4 with the last one, but that 7/5 isn't going anywhere.
Well, it'll also buff Necro Assassin to 5 attack.
Right.
So Necro Assassin on her own can kill Eagleman, and then he can attack the 7/5 with both of the zombies to kill it.
You're right.
But that still leaves a tiger.
Still leaves
like,
a tiger for
either
lethal.
way, you leave the tiger or the lion. You leave something. Some animal is living this turn.
Yep. Cerberus won't pull enough cards. Mimi and Coco won't do enough by themselves to kill anything. There's not enough followers for that to be relevant. So yeah, you're right. This is over.
And he actually can't even play Lurching Corpse Hector to give it rush.
Nope.
There's just nothing. There's actually nothing he can do.
He's gonna play it out.
Yeah.
Respect the man for playing it out.
That's gonna knock Care Package down to the losers bracket. That's gonna be the first team kill we got today.
Hacterox should join in Shadow Nexus. Just
At the
to
last
take out
moment, just
a
to
Shadow
team kill the
Nexus
Care
player.
Package.
All right, Hacterox, good on you,
Poor
man.
Care Package.
Poor
Oh
Care
my
Package,
gosh.
right? He's thinking about it. Any possible way he can get through this.
Yep. Gotta leave the tiger. Literally lions, tigers, and eagles.
That's
oh
right.
My, oh
Lions,
my.
tigers, eagles,
Oh my. GG from a Hacterox.
and carrots.
Yeah.
Never forget about the carrots.
and carrots. The most important animal of the group, carrots. Care Package going to losers bracket. Oh man.
We're gonna have to let all the vegetarians and vegans know that carrots are.
Yes, carrots are an animal now.
Now
It's
they are.
retconned.
Yeah.
They're an animal.
Absolutely.
They're in the animal kingdom, clearly. So.